In a village bound by tradition, a baker named Theo felt trapped by routine. Then a traveler arrived with a handful of vibrant purple flowers, dream petals. Should Theo risk everything to bake the unknown? Discover how one small act of courage can transform the ordinary into extraordinary, and why the sweetest flavors are found just beyond our comfort zone. In a village where time moved like a gently turning millstone, there lived a baker named Theo. His days were painted in shades of flour and fire, the same as the days before and the ones before that. The scent of his bread, though comforting, had begun to feel like a cage around his soul. Theo's bakery was his legacy, a sacred space passed down through generations. Within its walls, three types of bread reigned supreme: the plain loaf, the hearty rye, and the crunchy seeded roll. They were perfection itself, and he was their dutiful caretaker. Each day followed the last with unyielding precision, the kneading, the shaping, the baking, a ritual so ingrained it had lost its savor. Theo's hands worked with skill, but his spirit yearned for a change he could not name. One morning, as the sky blushed with dawn, a traveler appeared, like a brushstroke of the unexpected. They carried an air of far-off lands, a stark contrast to the village's predictable charm. The traveler purchased bread not with coin, but with a handful of vibrant purple flowers, their petals delicate and their fragrance intoxicating. Dream petals, they called them. Where I'm from, we bake these into our festival bread. Theo's heart fluttered with an unfamiliar excitement, warring with a deep-seated fear. To alter the sacred recipes felt like a betrayal of tradition, a disruption of his grandfather's legacy. He carefully placed the dream petals in a glass jar, a rainbow of forbidden possibilities, now imprisoned on a high shelf. They were a secret promise, a temptation he both craved and feared. Days melted into weeks, each one a mirror of the last. The bakery felt colder now, the warmth of the oven unable to penetrate the chill in Theo's heart. His hands moved mechanically, kneading the dough, shaping the loaves, but his spirit was absent, adrift in a sea of routine. Then came a quiet afternoon, heavy with the scent of yeast and regret. Theo's gaze drifted to the jar of purple flowers, a spark of longing igniting within him. He knew this moment was a crossroads, a decision that would either shatter the chains of habit or bind him to them forever. With trembling hands, he reached for the jar, his heart pounding like a drum against his ribs. The air crackled with anticipation. He pinched a small handful of dream petals, their velvety texture sending a shiver down his spine. No recipe existed for this, no guidance but his own intuition. He folded the petals into the dough, their vibrant colors swirling like a secret promise. The scent was intoxicating, a blend of floral sweetness and earthy warmth. The loaf baked with a curious hue, soft flecks of purple dancing within the golden crust. It was unlike anything the village had ever seen, a whispered rebellion against the ordinary. When he ripped it open, a sweet floral aroma filled the air, warm and inviting, unlike anything the village had ever experienced. It was a scent that whispered of dreams. Tentatively, Theo bit into the bread and tasted its magic. It was delicious, fresh and new, a burst of joy in every crumb. Feeling a sudden rush of bravery, Theo set out a single loaf for sale. He held his breath, a quiet prayer on his lips. Word spread like wildfire. The village buzzed with whispers of a mysterious new bread, its scent drawing curious onlookers. By the close of day, Theo's heart soared not from the praise, but from the thrill of creation, of stepping beyond the comfortable walls of routine. He understood then that comfort was a cage, and the true magic of his craft and his life was to embrace the unknown. Perfecting old recipes was safe, but it was the courage to create something new that made his spirit come alive. From that day on, Theo baked with wonder, no longer a prisoner to habit, but an explorer of endless possibility. He infused his breads with spices from distant lands, fruits from sun-kissed orchards, and herbs whispered to him by the wind. His bakery became a haven, a place where the ordinary transformed into the extraordinary, where dreams were baked into every loaf. And in that, he found the sweetest kind of fulfillment, a flavor far more satisfying than any recipe he had ever known. The village, once steeped in tradition, now danced to the rhythm of his imagination, its heart beating to the scent of purple dreams. And though the plain loaf, the hearty rye, and the crunchy seeded rolls still had their place, they were now accompanied by a symphony of flavors, a testament to the baker who dared to dream in purple. For Theo had discovered that the greatest recipes are not those handed down through generations, but those born from the courage to step into the unknown. And his story, like the scent of his dream petal bread, would linger in the village for generations to come, a sweet reminder that the most beautiful flavors are often found just beyond the edge of our comfort.